Apple may be about to pull off a headline-grabbing move with the iPhone 18 Pro lineup in 2026. Keep prices basically the same. A new leak suggests the iPhone 18 Pro could start around $1,099, and the iPhone 18 Pro Max could start around $1,999. Very close to the iPhone 17 Pro pricing. And if that holds true, it's great news for anyone planning to upgrade to a Pro model this year. But here's the twist. The same wave of reporting points to a delayed launch for the standard iPhone 18 models, and that could mean bad news for buyers who usually choose the cheaper iPhones. Because even if Apple protects the iPhone 18 Pro price, it can still raise what you pay in real life by shifting launch timing, pushing people into higher tiers, and quietly adjusting storage options. If you want iPhone 18 leaks, iPhone 18 Pro price updates, and the moment deals go live, subscribe now. Because the next few months will likely decide whether the iPhone 18 lineup feels like a win for buyers or a carefully disguised price increase. According to a new research note from a well-known Apple analyst, Apple is expected to stick with what's being described as an aggressive pricing strategy for the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max. In simple terms, that means Apple may keep the Pro models' starting prices steady or only nudge them slightly upward, even as component costs fluctuate. That strategy isn't random, it's targeted. The iPhone Pro range is Apple's strongest selling category, year after year. When people buy a premium phone, they tend to commit fully. Best camera system, best display, strongest performance, and a longer runway for software updates. Buyers who choose Pro models also tend to be less price-sensitive, which makes the Pro tier the easiest place for Apple to maintain momentum, protect demand, and dominate the premium market conversation. And if this sounds familiar, it's because we've seen a similar approach from Samsung. With the Galaxy S26 series, Samsung reportedly kept the Ultra model's price flat in key markets while allowing price pressure to hit the lower tiers. In other words, protect the bestseller, let the rest of the lineup absorb the cost increases. It's a playbook designed to keep the hero phone looking like a great deal, while the entry and mid-tier models quietly become less affordable. If Apple is following that same logic, the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max could be protected this year, while the standard iPhone 18 and any more affordable options might take the hit later. Now let's talk about the bigger issue. The iPhone 18 release date strategy may be changing in a way Apple has never done before. Reports suggest Apple could split the iPhone 18 launch across two separate events. The premium models, iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max, are expected to arrive in September 2026 as usual. But the standard iPhone 18, along with other non-Pro variants like an iPhone Air 2 and iPhone 18e, may not arrive until spring 2027. That one change would immediately reshape the buying decision for millions of people. Because if you're the type of buyer who upgrades during the holiday season, Black Friday, Christmas, end-of-year carrier deals, your new iPhone options could be dramatically limited. If the base iPhone 18 isn't available in fall 2026, then anyone who wants the latest iPhone for that season may be pushed into a Pro model by default. No standard iPhone 18. No newer, budget-friendly option. No, just the regular new one. It becomes Pro or wait. And even though that sounds like a minor scheduling change, it can behave like a pricing strategy. When the only brand new models on shelves are $1,999 and up, the average transaction price rises automatically, even if Apple never changes the price tag printed on the box. This is especially important for people upgrading on tighter budgets. A lot of buyers don't want to spend over $1,000 on a phone even if they love iOS. They usually count on the standard model arriving alongside the Pro phones, giving them a current-gen option that feels new without entering premium pricing territory. If Apple delays that standard model to spring 2027, those buyers either wait months longer, buy last year's iPhone, or stretch their budget to reach the Pro tier. And the silence around non-Pro pricing makes this even more interesting. Right. Now there's far less clarity about how Apple will price the base iPhone 18 and the cheaper variants when they eventually arrive. That could be because Apple itself hasn't finalized those numbers, especially if it's trying to navigate shifting component costs, particularly memory and storage pricing in the supply chain. This is where the static Pro pricing story can still lead to higher costs for everyone else. If Apple wants the iPhone 18 Pro headline to read, starting at $1,099, It can keep that number stable while spreading cost increases elsewhere, most commonly onto lower-tier models or into storage upgrades that buyers feel only after they configure the phone they actually want. And storage is one of the easiest ways to make a price increase look invisible. A company can claim the starting price is unchanged while doing things like removing the cheapest storage option, making 256 GB the new entry level, raising the price jumps to 512 GB and 1 TB, or reshaping the lineup so the best value configuration costs more than it did last year. So Apple could say iPhone 18 Pro starts at $1,099, and technically that might be true, but if the model you want requires more storage or if the upgrade pricing changes, you still pay more in practice. It's also worth watching what happens to the base iPhone 18 when it finally arrives. If Apple follows the same pattern Samsung used, protect the top model's price while raising costs on lower tiers, then the standard iPhone 18 could launch at a higher starting price than the iPhone 17 standard model, despite all the attention being focused on stable Pro pricing. And that's where the delayed launch becomes more than a scheduling story. A spring 2027 release gives Apple more time to adjust prices, reposition the lineup, and steer buyers toward higher-margin products. By the time the base iPhone 18 shows up, Apple can justify price changes with new features, new configurations, or simply a refreshed lineup structure that makes direct comparisons harder. Then there's one more wild card that could change everything: the premium expansion above the Pro Max. The same wave of leaks suggests Apple may introduce a new ultra-premium device, often described as an iPhone Fold and/or iPhone Ultra, launching alongside the iPhone 18 Pro models in September 2026. If Apple adds a new tier above the Pro Max, it unlocks a powerful pricing ladder. Keep iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max prices stable for the headline. Introduce a more expensive Ultra as the new aspirational target. Let the standard models arrive later, potentially with higher pricing. That structure can make the iPhone 18 Pro Max feel reasonable next to an even more expensive Ultra, even if the real-world cost of owning the iPhone you want rises through storage pricing or fewer affordable launch options. So what does all of this mean if you're deciding whether to upgrade? If you're planning to buy the iPhone 18 Pro or iPhone 18 Pro Max, this leak points to a best-case scenario: pricing that stays near current levels, with Apple choosing to protect its most popular premium models to stay competitive. But if you usually buy the standard iPhone, or you rely on the affordable new iPhone arriving every September, the rumored split launch could be the real issue. Because it changes when you can buy, what you can buy, and how much pressure there is to spend more than you planned. And the biggest takeaway is simple: a stable iPhone 18 Pro price doesn't guarantee a cheaper iPhone experience overall, especially if the standard iPhone 18 is delayed to 2027 and Apple reshapes storage tiers or entry-level pricing along the way. Subscribe for the next iPhone 18 Pro Max price leak, iPhone 18 release date updates, and the first real signs of how Apple is planning to price the standard iPhone 18 when it finally lands.